Welcome back to Politically Speaking with Gene Covison.
Welcome back. From the latest Trump tweets to Omarosa to the latest back and forth in Congress, there's been a lot of harsh political rhetoric. We all know it. It's a reason some of us actually turned away from political coverage. But is this the worst it's ever been? Take a look at this.
How the heck are you? You're looking good.
Office hours with Professor Dale Dickson are more like a walk through a political museum. Tons of trinkets, books, and memorabilia to entertain curious students. That's going to play a big part in a bit. We'll get to that in a second. But Professor Dickson is an expert on the U.S. Supreme Court. So I asked him to talk about the pending confirmation hearings for Judge Brett Kavanaugh.
He fits a lot of the boxes of typical justices on the court right now. He's Catholic, he's male, he's white, he's Ivy League educated, he has corporate background, he's a complete Washington insider. This is the current model of Supreme Court nominees.
But he says while Kavanaugh's nomination signifies the court is moving further right, the judge he's replacing, Justice Kennedy, wasn't as much of a swing vote as people might think.
In some cases, his vote was not clear where he was going to go. But Justice Kennedy was a very conservative justice 95% of the time. He really was part of the right wing of the court, with a couple of exceptions, including gay rights. He was what passed for the middle because the Supreme Court at the time really didn't have a middle, and so he kind of filled the role by default. And liberals always could hold out the hope that Kennedy might change over to the left. The other issue that he really was noted for in terms of joining the liberal wing of the court was Roe v. Wade, was abortion rights.
The confirmation hearing for Kavanaugh is scheduled for September.
They've already basically announced it. They want it before the midterms. They want to energize their base. They want a victory. Actually, they can't lose. Kavanaugh is going to be appointed. I don't see any way around it unless a scandal comes out that nobody knows about.
But between now and then,
you're going to see some street theater. One of the interesting things that I find, we are used to contentious Senate hearings at this point. The most famous one is Judge Bork's hearing, which was must-see TV. It was an incredible lesson on judicial politics and constitutional law. And as you know, he was defeated. And ever since then, both sides have been using this as a blood sport. They've been going after it and using it to rally their base, using it to score political points.
Okay, so remember I told you about those trinkets? This is where they come into play. The political rhetoric that we're hearing today, Dickson says that's a cycle we've seen before, and he'd know. He has a campaign button collection that dates back to the 19th century.
One of my favorites is this pig. It is from 1896. It's a lead pin. You look through it and you will see a little picture. It's a microscopic picture of William Jennings Bryan, and it says William Jennings Bryan for president. And the joke is, it's actually a McKinley button, and the message is William Jennings Bryan for president in a pig's ass, which tells students that politics was always for the thick skin. So this one's a movable one. Let's pull together. You flip the lever, and it's Adolf Hitler on the end of a rope.
Then there are the baseballs.
Leo DeRocher, who is not a politician, but he's known for saying, nice guys finish last. I don't know if it's a good political motto, but Machiavelli would have approved.
But amongst this collection is a symbol that keeps him optimistic.
This might be my favorite possession, 1994 Senate Judiciary Committee.
Oh, that's Joe Biden.
That is Joe Biden. I just wrote Senator Biden, who was the chair at the time of the Senate Judiciary Committee, and I said at the time there was no baseball team in Washington, D.C. Chances looked small for having another Washington Senators baseball team. I said, you're as close as I can get to baseball and the Senators. Would you have the Senate Judiciary Committee sign a baseball for me? And about 3 weeks later, this is what I got. We have Ted Kennedy here, but we also have Strom Thurmond here. We have Orrin Hatch. We have Arlen Specter. So all Democrats, all Republicans were on board with this.
For Dickson, it's proof that political opposites can, in fact, work together.
politics ebbs and flows. It's always been a game for the thick-skinned. It's always been a contact sport. It's a little bit more, I guess the venom, the vitriol is a little bit heightened for longer at this point. I mean, it just seems like we're in a daily news cycle of hate and recrimination, and it seems like difficult times. And it is. But this too shall pass. It will get better.